Welcome everybody to CDR reports in asterisks. CDR reports. Okay, so we've also got in here call recordings. That's another way of viewing your call recordings if you have that bolt on. It's quite simple to just go by, month, day, etc. Very simple. What I don't like about this is when you finish defining them, it's very difficult to define your search down to a particular number or extension. You've got pages upon pages of it. It's not bad, but this is far better to use. CDR reports might not be as pretty, but it definitely does give you more information. Okay, so let's just use extension 134. Today we're just going to set the date 6th, and I'll put the date 6. We'll just do one day. Pretty obvious how that works. It's morning till the end of the day. Alright, 134. Now here's something very important. Contains or ends with. I'll explain more detail as we go through this, but you can use contains. If you don't get data, you can use ends with. And I'll tell you why. Oldest first, so they list down, or backwards if you choose. Answered calls, and group them by the day. This is all up to you how you want it to display. All we're looking for is extension. What calls did they make today? And let's just have a look. Change this limit up 5,000, whatever it is. Make sure it's way higher than you're expecting, so you don't miss any data. Hooray! So we have all these calls made today. Quite simply, this is the call recording. This is in date format, of course, right? From beginning to the end. This is the extension. Is what you're looking for. This is important stuff. And this is the number they called, the destination. So we're just going to highlight one of these numbers because in a moment we're going to show you how to search by the DID, the number itself. The call's answered, remembering that answered means voicemail or answering machines. As far as the PBX is concerned, that's answered. It's not a call that rang up or a call that was busy. And the duration of the call. Okay, so if somebody rang in and said, we want to make a complaint about a call and they don't have the extension they spoke to, they just have their phone number. We can do it the other way. We can go to the destination and put the number in the destination. Get rid of this. We don't know who it is. And we're going to go ends with, because as you can see, there's some pre-dials here. Sometimes outbound routes have pre-dial codes to choose specific routes. So we want, if we go check contains with, this is where you're going to come just a little bit unstuck, and it'll seem like, oh, what's going on? No data. If you just choose ends with, as long as you've got the number in the correct format, you know what a number looks like, you'll find your data. There it is. Okay, so we know that at this time of day, both these calls were made to this destination by this person. Great way to track a call if somebody happens to make a complaint. We can go the other way around. We can look at all calls made, say they were inbound to this destination, 134, so it was an inbound instead of an outbound call. All calls at 134 answered today. From, let's pick a caller ID, say this one. So this is the caller, and this is the extension it's landed on in here. Alright, we've got a little bit more data than we need here. I think it's grabbing anything with 134. So we're going to go, let's pick another one. Let's try and refine it a little bit. Contain, see if we can get rid of the stuff we don't want. It's probably going to give us that. There you go. So it just contains 134, was much better. We've got the calls exactly now. Alright, so you can just play around with these and get the data you want. Let's grab whatever, this one. This phone number. So what we know is this particular person called in and spoke to this agent. Again, listen to the call recording or download it. So let's go the other way. Say we don't know the number. We can go to the destination. Call came from here. Ends with. Search. Okay. Great way to do it. If you get a customer complaint and you want to find a call recording, very simply, just ask them for their phone number. Ends with. Search, and there it is. There's your inbound call recording. The opposite if you wanted to do outbound, stick it in here. But of course this was an inbound call. That won't work. We need to know the number for the outbound call that they dialed. Alright, so pretty easy. Let's go to a queue. Destination is a queue. If I happen to know the queue number, you'll need to know yours. Search. And this will be the calls that came in on this particular queue today. All the calls for today. Okay, you can find out lots of information from this, how busy this particular queue has been. I mean, there's queue reports as well, but this will give you some basic information along with the call recording. Great for a team leader to just travel over the call recordings for a particular service queue and pluck out ones that maybe aren't up to scratch. You know, if you want to keep a record of this, CSV, hit it again. You'll download it in a spreadsheet you can then open and manipulate in Excel. You won't have the call recordings in here, it's just the call data. Right, spread the fields out as you need them. You get the picture. Okay. Alright, I need to save that. So there you go. Agent calls inbound and outbound using these two fields. Ends with or contains are the two sort of criteria. Seems to be pretty good. Adjust these as you feel. Make sure your date range is right. Make sure your result limit is high. And you can also use a queue. Alright, feel free to play around these other fields and you can define things even further. Use account codes, you know, if you have pin set or something else like that. So I hope you've enjoyed CDR reports, and this should be a good training video for you to then play back and figure out how to do this all yourself. Thank you for joining.